everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I have got an absolute treat of a video for you, if I say so myself, and I'm really confident that you're going to love this video. So this is a collaboration video, and I have got a bunch of amazing ladies from YouTube who are all going to tell you their sexiest fragrances. So the brief that I put out there to them was to choose one sexy fragrance that they enjoy wearing themselves and one that they enjoy on a man, but obviously key factor that they find it sexy. What I wanted to do was get the ladies of FRAGCOM, the ladies of Fragrance Community in YouTube together and talk about what we find sexy on ourselves, what we feel sexy when we wear, but also what we find sexy on a man. Now, I just want to clarify that this is an inclusive video and it's not just for heterosexuals, it's just, I could also tell you what I find sexy on a woman, but I just said one sexy fragrance for a female, one sexy fragrance for a man. That's not to assume that you are one way inclined or another. And of course, I want to include everyone in the world. I hope that you find the video inclusive. You will see that some of the ladies have tackled the brief in their own unique ways to make sure it is inclusive. And I just hope that you enjoy the video. I'm gonna start with my picks. So for myself, what I consider sexy, what I feel sexy when I wear is, generally speaking, a sweet fragrance. It would usually have vanilla. That's just my comfort zone of feeling sexy. And I've got two for you. So I decided to do one niche and one designer. So my niche pick is Papillon's Bengal Rouge. And this is a gorgeous oriental ambery vanilla. It starts with some honey, there's some rose, there's sandalwood, lots of vanilla. It's very resinous. The dry down is very sexy and comforting at the same time. It gets kind of caramelized on my skin, almost goes chocolatey. It's creamy and delicious, and it lasts really, really well as well. It's a very rich and opulent fragrance. It's perfect for the cold weather and a holiday season as well. So that's my niche pick for the ladies. Of course, all fragrances are unisex. Anyone can wear what they want. And let's go for the niche pick for the gentleman. I really love this on a man. It is hyper expensive and I don't recommend you pay retail, but you can sometimes find offers, and it's called Spice and Wood by Creed. This is gorgeous. It's not too rich. Well, it's not too rich. You might expect with it being a spicy fragrance, it to be very excessively spicy. It's not. It's more peppery with just a hint of cinnamon, and it's just a bit sweet, not too sweet. It's woody. I can smell vetiver. Vetiver's not listed. Most people do notice the vetiver though, which gives it that more masculine feel. I grew up with the marketing of fragrances in that ladies would be expected to smell of flowers and vanilla and candy, and men would smell of woods and spices and soap. That's how I grew up. So in my head, that's how I perceive fragrances. I can totally wear this. There's a bit of apple in here, which gives it a little bit of a lift and a little bit of sweetness. But it is absolutely delectable. I love this one. As I say, I would happily wear it myself, but maybe it's just not quite sweet enough for me to feel as confident as I would in one of my more sweeter fragrances. But for a man, I think this is absolutely perfect. Really, really sexy, classy, sophisticated fragrance. Really love it. So let's go to the female designer option. So I went with, it is discontinued, but you can still find it fairly easily. And it's Alien Essence Absolute. And you can see a lovely, gorgeous, rich, ambery liquid there. So this has an element of Alien, which you may know as the crazy jasmine sandbag bomb. That is, it hits you in the face. Someone can walk into a room and bang, you can smell Alien. It's not as loud as that though. Alien Essence Absolute has a ton of this woodsy vanilla. This is another one that's completely unisex, but I just find it really sexy on me. I love wearing it. It makes me feel very confident and sexy. And I feel like I smell alluring when I wear this one, just because of that combination of the hint of the Alien with this sexy, woodsy vanilla and resins as well. It's absolutely gorgeous, very rich, very long lasting, very opulent. So I absolutely love wearing that if I want to feel sexy. The designer option for a man, I don't have a bottle, but it's Fahrenheit from Dior. I love Fahrenheit. As a youngster growing up, it was a very popular fragrance for the boys in their late teens, early 20s, and I smelled it quite often on lots of different chaps, and it certainly did get me a little bit excited, I can't lie. I wouldn't call it a panty dropper because of course we don't want to be talking about panty droppers, but it's about as close as you're going to get to a panty dropper. And I really love the parfum version as well. So the original version is very rugged, there's leather, there's violet leaf, there's a bit of a petroleum note which I think comes from the violet leaf. It's spicy and rich, and it's really special, it's unique. Not many people wear it anymore as well, so you will smell unique wearing it these days. The parfum version has lots of vanilla in it. It still smells like Fahrenheit, but it's not so rugged. It's much smoother and richer, more syrupy, and probably more modern. I love both versions, and I just find them very, very sexy on a man. They absolutely would still be sexy on a woman as well. They just remind me of masculine man. So now onto my lovely ladies. Let's see what they have to say.
So my top pick for a sexy winter fragrance for a woman, something that I'm loving wearing and have been wearing a ton this fall, and I foresee myself wearing a ton throughout the winter, is Manifesto by Yves Saint Laurent. So to my nose, this smells very, very similar to Dior Addict. I do own two different versions of Dior Addict, and this to me is very, very similar. It's definitely in the same family. There's something about this that I like more than Addict though. This is softer and smoother and a little bit more well-rounded. It's just beautiful. This is a cozy, comforting scent, but this is a sexy scent. This is something that makes me feel like a woman when I wear it. I feel like my age. So this fragrance is bergamot, blackcurrant, sambac jasmine, lily of the valley, cedar, sandalwood, vanilla, and tonka bean, and it is gorgeous. This is a little bit sweet, a little bit powdery. It's very complex. You get a very beautiful journey on the skin. It's a little bit more floral when you first spray it on, and then the dry down is just the beautiful vanilla and tonka bean. And it's just stunning. It's spicy, it's warm, it's cozy, it's sexy. This is a fragrance that when you're wearing it, you're gonna want to like snuggle up to somebody. This is a great date fragrance, something that if you're going on a date, you're going out with your husband or your boyfriend or your significant other, your partner, whoever that may be, I can't not imagine anybody not wanting to smell this on somebody. It's just a gorgeous fragrance. So that would be my pick for a sexy winter fragrance for women. Now, my pick for a sexy winter fragrance for men, one that I am absolutely loving on my husband right now, one that is just really perfect for this time of year, is a very affordable one, let me say. This is Rich, Warm, Addictive by Zara. So this you can pick up on the Zara website for $20. And this is so good. This is tobacco and coconut, and it's sweet and soft. I will say you do have to spray a lot of this on. You definitely need to go in with 8 to 10 sprays, but when you do that, the sillage is awesome. It projects really well. It lasts definitely a good long 8 hours. I love smelling this on my husband. It smells completely different on him than it does on me. This is perfectly unisex though. This could go either way, but it smells particularly beautiful on a man. Something about a man's skin just brings out the beautiful coconut tobacco smell in this, and I just love it. So this is tobacco, coconut, sandalwood, honey, and cedar. And the cedar just gives it this really beautiful sweetness. The tobacco is not a very loud or strong tobacco. It's just a beautiful base note that everything else kind of sits on. It's just stunning. So this is a very sexy fragrance for a man, and like I say, one that I am loving on my husband right now.
Hi there, this is Sam from My World of Fragrance. Thank you so much, Claire, for featuring some female reviewers in this video. Not enough of us are out here supporting each other, so I really do appreciate that. So this winter, for my male and female fragrance, because I am a unisex reviewer and most of the fragrances in my collection are classified as unisex, or they're unisex to me. So the one that I'm wearing is Bella Bellissima Tombée de la Nuit. And this is a gorgeous oud fragrance. It's an oudy scent that still manages to be delicate, so it's not too harsh. There are some floral notes there in the top notes, some lily in the valley, and then there's some jasmine in the heart as well that really soften and make this such a lovely oud fragrance. It really is a unique one to me, and I have been loving wearing this on its own, layered with other fragrances, and just for daytime wear, for nighttime wear, for everything. It's just a gorgeous winter fragrance. So for men and for women, Tombée de la Nuit by Bella Bellissima. And this is a English fragrance house, and the woman who makes these fragrances also has some other gorgeous ones in her line. So do check it out.
Hey guys, it's me Kim from Fragrancy Blog, and I'm also gonna share my 2 top favorite sexy fragrances for the winter time. I'm gonna start with my favorite female winter fragrance perfume, and that is Alien Absolute by Thierry Mugler. I have spoken a lot about this on my channel, and each winter I grab this one. I don't know, I'm so obsessed with this. It's so strong and it's sweet, it's vanilla, it's amber, jasmine, but this is, in my opinion, the best version of Alien ever made. And this is going to be discontinued, or it already is, so if you want to buy this, just buy a couple of bottles, because I'm sure you will be obsessed with this fragrance. It's really beautiful, it's really sexy. This one gives me a lot of compliments. And I've been wearing this since 2015, so for almost 4 years, and this is my 5th bottle, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think this is my 4th or 5th bottle. I just really love this, and it has a great performance. And talking about a men's fragrance I find very sexy is pretty new in my collection, and my husband is stealing this all the time. And it's really funny because he doesn't really wear sweet perfumes, but I was looking for this bottle for this review and I couldn't find it, but it was in his closet. So it's Shagaf Oud by Swiss Arabian. This is a really sweet rose oud vanilla perfume. I think that's the best way to describe it. Really beautiful. also very, very strong. That's what I like about it. And for me, a sexy men's fragrance is something that is sweet, contains oud, but it's just my own preference, and is strong. That's what I like for a men's perfume. So this totally, yeah, this is the whole package, and it's very affordable, 25 euros. This one, I'm not sure, around 90 euros. So they are both good priced, worth a try. And if you like Alien, really just go for this. This is the best. It will not disappoint you. I love it so much. So thank you, Smurfy Girly, for inviting me for this collaboration. And yeah, see you guys soon. Ciao.
Hi Claire! Thank you so much for inviting me to take part in this little collaboration that you're doing. I am so grateful that you asked, and I'm very excited to take part in it. As for a sexy scent for the winter that I like to wear, I would have to say Guerlain's Shalimar Souffle Intense is my top pick. This scent is so rich and warm and sensual to me. It's got a really nice vanilla and benzoin. There's a little jasmine and orange blossom and a little musk. This to me is like a perfect winter scent. It reminds me of the holidays. It just feels so cozy and enveloping. And I think the jasmine and the musk make it a little sexier. It isn't just like a plain vanilla. It's very deep and interesting, and it performs amazingly. And in the winter, I don't know, this just warms me up like nothing else. And I also think it's very sexy. As for the scent that I would choose for a man's sexy winter fragrance, I'm gonna have to go again with Guerlain. This is Guerlain's L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. This fragrance is cherry, almond, vanilla, leather, smoke, a little tonka. So it's a little powdery, a little sweet, a little tart, a little edgy. To me, this is just like a perfect cozy man's scent, but it isn't like too casual, it isn't too dressy. I don't know, I really like this one. Like I said, it's a little sweet, so I feel like that kind of lends itself to feeling very welcoming and very approachable. And the leather and the smoke make it just a little like edgy and masculine and a little powerful. I just imagine like a really strong guy wearing a really nice sweater, maybe he got a little beard or a little scruff going, and he's got like, I don't know, eggnog. There's no eggnog in this. I'm just building up this fantasy in my mind. This is definitely my favorite winter scent on a man at the moment. I hope you enjoyed my picks. I cannot wait to see what everyone else has chosen. And Claire, thank you again for inviting me to do this with you.
Hey everybody, I'm Lola from the channel Lola Scents, and when it comes to sexiness, I feel like just like fragrance, it's so very subjective. What I feel is sexy is going to vary greatly from what the next person thinks is sexy. So best practice for me is just to wear what you like, wear what makes you feel confident, what makes you feel good, and if it sparks some sensual part of you or I, then even better. So my pick for this winter when it comes to a more sensual feeling fragrance is going to be Tobacco Rose from Papillon. To me, this has a very sensual, rich, luxurious feel to it. It's got an earthy rose, it's smoky, it's a slight bit animalic from ambergris and beeswax, and then it has this sort of glowing balsamic base to it. So when this comes in contact with my skin, it kind of creates this golden aura of just sensuality and makes me feel very womanly. It might be in my head, but I feel like the perfumer for this fragrance has something to do with why I feel like this is such a sensual fragrance. The perfumer Liz Moores, she just exudes and oozes sensuality and sexiness. So I think that comes across in her fragrances, especially this one. My winter pick for men is actually one that I wear myself, and my husband likes it so much he wears it too. This is called Bourbon from Henley. I have the EDC version here, but for the purposes of this video, I think I would probably recommend the EDP version. This is a woody, boozy, vanilla fragrance with a vintage vibe. So when I spray this on, I feel like I'm in an old speakeasy. There's beautiful wooden furniture, there's booze being poured, there's some open dusty books lying around. I just really like the vintage feel that it has. And I think because it has this animalic nuance to it, that it really lends itself to being more sexy. It's dense, it's dark. I just really like this one for the winter, and especially on men. Those were my 2 picks, and thanks to Claire for putting this together.
Hi guys, I'm super excited to be a part of this sexy collaboration. My name is Yana, I'm from the channel Tomalise, and I would like to thank Claire for putting this video together. And I also have 2 sexy wintry perfumes to share with you. Actually, both of my picks are unisex, just because you know me, I love niche perfumery, and the majority of niche fragrances are unisex. But one of these leans more feminine, another one is more masculine, so I think if you like to stand out and not smell like everybody else out there, my picks are gonna be helpful for you. So let me start with something that I love to wear myself, and that is Salt Caramel by this niche French Shea and Blue London, which I believe is based in England, and I actually really enjoy their lovely selection of perfumes and beautiful bottles. The only problem that I have with Shea and Blue perfumes is that I can't find them in Germany, where I live. However, I was really lucky to check them out in Ukraine, and I love this one so much that I just ordered it online when I came back to Germany. And you guys, this is such a heavy, intense gourmand that is super eatable and foodish, and it reminds me of the cinema. Actually, this is signature scent of the cinema to me, probably because I worked at the cinema like 1,000 times, but that's not the point. The point is, it is delicious, and it smells of caramelized popcorn with salty aftertaste, and salt is actually rather in the background than being the main leading note in there, which is caramel. It is chewy, it is sticky, it is sweet, and it is very bold. So there is also a ton of tonka beans. They create this warm, sexy, inviting vibe, and this perfume is quite heavy. That's why I love to wear it only in the winter time, and it's unisex in my opinion, performs really well, and it's so yummy. So if you want more information about it, I have a full review on Salt and Caramel on my channel. You can check it out. But now let me tell you about masculine, sexy, wintry perfume that I'm obsessed with, and that is Curaro by Quinto Canto, which is project of Paolo and Tiziana Terenzi. And you know those Italians, they know how to seduce. All their perfumes smell extra luxury, and this one is not an exception. Actually, it is so complex, there is so much going on in there. We have a lot of patchouli, different kinds of wood, spices, flowers, but to me it smells like boozy, exotic, patchouli potion that is created to make you smell sexy and also feel very warm. But the craziest thing about this one is that it has almost like a medicinal undertone, and there's also note of caramel like in this one, but these are definitely very different takes on caramel. Anyway, this one projects well, and when my boyfriend wears it, I'm all his. Anyway, you guys, those were my picks, and now let's move on to the next person.
Hello everyone. Before I begin, I would like to say a lot of thank yous. Thank you so much to Claire for adding me into this clip and for allowing me to contribute my part of the favorite fragrance that I would like to wear during winter. To be honest, I don't live in a country which has 4 seasons. I live in a country where we only have hot summery days and also rainy days at times. So I live in Malaysia. So although I don't have much experience in using or wearing fragrances in a winter season, if I was given a chance, I would choose to wear Roses and Chocolate by Mancera. I think this one would be a really good one for the winter, for the cold weather. It's very warm and cozy to me. This scent is just warm and cozy as there are the notes of roses mixed with cacao powder. I don't think I get quite a lot of chocolate in here. I get quite a huge amount of cacao powderiness from here, mixed very well together with the red velvety rose. So this is a stunner because other than the chocolatey cacao notes together with the rose, it's not really that sweet. It is a very tame sweet fragrance. There is just a little bit of sweetness in here that makes it feel like a very high-class dessert. So other than these two notes, which are very prominent, I also do get quite a lot of woodiness in here and some violet note. So the woodiness in here really makes this, I think it would be perfect for winter. Although I do not have much experience for it, I need to repeat again. And I think this fragrance would be my favorite. And I think since this fragrance is not really feminine, I think it would be suitable for men as well. I think I would be really attracted to my husband if he ever wears this fragrance. But sadly, he doesn't wear any perfume at all. So I hope I can some kind of influence him to get into the fragrance games in the future. Well, that's all for me. Thank you, Claire. Bye.
Hey guys, Tina here, the Critical Virgo. Thank you, Claire, for asking me to be a part of this. She wanted 2 fragrances. One that I personally enjoy wearing myself in the cooler weather, and I say cooler weather because I'm in South Florida, and a sexy pick for the fellas. Now, I believe that all fragrance is unisex, so this decision was incredibly difficult, but something that I have been pulling for a lot lately is Rosenthal by Henley Perfumes. If you are into incense rose type fragrances that are very unique, I highly recommend you check this one out and you try it before you buy it, because it's not like anything you've really smelled before. Also, I must caution you that if you see it available on his website, that you pick it up, because Hans does not make like super large batches, and when he runs out, and waiting for the next batch is kind of like a waiting game, which kind of adds to the excitement. But lasts you all day, super unique, absolutely love it. Rose fans, rejoice. The one that I'm going to recommend for the fellas is something that I wear a lot myself. It's one of my more versatile fragrances, and it is Or by Slumber House. I talk about this one quite a bit actually. It's this gorgeous boozy cocoa fragrance. As I said, very versatile. You can wear this from the office to date night, and it is an extrait. It lasts forever. I still smell this the next day. So you probably won't have to touch it up when you go out for date night. And I find this to be, again, very unisex, but I would totally love smelling this one on a guy. So I hope you guys enjoyed my picks. On to the next person.
Hello everyone, I'm so excited to be a part of this wonderful collaboration today. Thank you so much, Claire, for having me on here. So today we are talking about sexy winter fragrances, and I cannot wait to see what everyone else's picks are. As for me, I love wearing this beauty in the winter time. Zarjaf Mamlouk from the Old Stars collection. I find this fragrance to be extremely seductive and intoxicating, with notes of musk, osmanthus, jasmine, amber, benzoin, vanilla, bergamot, agarwood, honey and caramel. This fragrance is a real showstopper. To me, it smells like a bouquet of indolic jasmine flowers drizzled with thick and rich syrupy honey on an animalic and musky base. So when you combine indolics with oud, caramel, honey and dirty musks, then you're bound to get a skanky and delicious concoction from it. There is nothing pretty or innocent about Mamlouk. In fact, it has the opposite characteristics, with it being addictive, sultry, and downright raunchy. Mamlouk is a standout for me in the wintertime, and I only wear it in this season. Projection and lasting power is enormous, so be prepared to be enamored in a sensual cloud of sticky, honeyed, magical potion throughout the day. Now, a fragrance that I highly recommend for the men in wintertime would definitely be Fetish pour Homme by Roger Dove. This fragrance appeals to me because not only do I find it extremely seductive, but it is exceptional in quality and has a bold and sharp feature to it, which makes it even more sexier. Fetish is aptly named. It's an animalic leather, spice, wood, citrus, and a subtle fig and patchouli note as well. This fragrance would suit an older and sophisticated man who always dresses well and keeps his appearance up to date. Fetish is more of a mature scent. There is nothing sweet or innocent about it. In fact, it is more of a dry, bitter, and somewhat harsh fragrance that just works. In the dry down, it becomes more of a foresty type of a scent with green and incense kind of notes. It's a serious type of a scent, so I can imagine the guy wearing it. He's a guy that is mysterious and one who always has a straight face, but at the same time he's a romantic at heart and knows exactly how to treat a woman. Fetish is strong, bold, and is perfect for the colder months. It has great sillage and lasting power. It's definitely a try before you buy type of a scent, so I do not recommend blind purchasing this one. So these two were my sexy winter fragrances. I hope you've enjoyed me talking here today, and thank you so much again, Claire, for having me on here. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Bye!
Hi, frag hags and frag heads. I've been asked by the lovely Claire, Smurfy Girly, to recommend a very sexy winter fragrance. Miroir de Majesté from Mugler. And as you can see, that juice packs quite the punch. This is a Oriental spice bomb. Oily on the skin. When you spray it on, it feels almost like you get a fever. You know, when it's that intense. Amped up to 11, I would say. It's got coriander. It's got cardamom, orange blossom, amber, and oud. It reminds me a bit of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Classique, you know, that corset fragrance. But if you were to chuck loads of spices in there and also a bit of skank. That's right, it's a little bit skanky. Doesn't a bit of trashiness and skankiness go hand in hand with sexiness? Well, I think it does, but it doesn't have a lot of it. I think if you overspray, the skank comes out. But yeah, just the right amount of skank and fabulous fragrance. I am so glad I got this. And the box is gorgeous. It comes in a mirrored box. Mirrors on all sides, so the presentation is fabulous. So that's my recommendation for both women and men. You can't be a wallflower wearing this though. If you like to be noticed and want to have that, if you're really into those oriental spicy fragrances, then try this out. I was also asked to recommend a sexy masculine fragrance, and to be honest, I have to confess I'm not very good at that, because I'm a bit of a hermit and I never come across men that smell good. I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. How about Fahrenheit? That's a classic. You can find it anywhere, still in production, still sexy, and maybe a bit vintage nowadays, but yeah. So thank you for watching, and till next time.
Hi everyone, I'm V from Casually Fragrant. It's an absolute honor to be included in this collab video with Smurfy Girl and others. I watch all the ladies' YouTube channels, and it's just so freaking cool to be included in this. So today I'm going to be going over 2 fragrances, and my first one is Lyra by Xerjoff, which I've talked about on my channel a number of times, and this is my fave feminine leaning sexy winter scent. Lyra is a oriental floral. It was released in 2011, and let me just pan up. The box is absolutely stunning. This is the 30 ml, and guaranteed I'm going to be picking up the larger size. Once I finish this, I just always have to have this one in my collection. And they are made in Italy. So Lyra has top notes of bergamot, blood orange, and lavender, with middle notes of jasmine, cinnamon, licorice, and base notes of musk, vanilla, and caramel. And this scent is long lasting. On me, about like 7 to 12 hours, and only a couple to a few sprays are needed really, and you get moderate to heavy projection. The most prominent notes in Lyra to me are the caramel and vanilla, with a touch of that cinnamon spice and blood orange. And this isn't your standard like orange, sweet orange scent at all. That blood orange has a lot of depth to it, and it's very different. I love wearing Lyra for cold winter weather. It's one of my top 5 scents in my entire collection, which is keeps growing, and this keeps staying as one of my favorites, and it is definitely a top sexy one. It's so warm and sophisticated sweet. The caramel is absolutely delicious smelling, and people will notice you wearing Lyra. I've received compliments wearing this scent before, and if you want a beautiful night out scent, something to really capture the attention of someone special during the holidays, I would recommend checking out Lyra. It's absolutely intoxicating. Now, speaking of intoxicating scents, my choice for my fave male sexy scent is actually by Kilian, and it is Intoxicated. And I'm sorry, I only have a sample of this. I'm planning to buy my husband the full bottle, and I was kind of toying with the idea of including something else for this video that I had a full bottle, but this has become a fast love for me, and I just really needed to include this in the video. So it's actually Intoxicated by Kilian. So Intoxicated is an aromatic, spicy, unisex fragrance, but honestly, I'd love to smell this on my husband. And it was released in 2014. The fragrance features kind of linear notes of cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, and coffee. So I kind of get the cardamom and coffee being the dominant notes, but I almost feel like there's something more to this. It's like it only has a few notes, but it's so well blended and so unique smelling that I absolutely love it. So I checked the stats on Fragrantica, since my husband's only worn this once himself actually, and everyone's commenting how very long lasting this is, and as to sillage, probably moderate to heavy. And the name is very fitting as an intoxicated scent. It's so warm and inviting, and I think it will definitely bring in a cuddle while you're wearing this. So thanks so much for watching. Those were my 2 favorites, and thanks again, Smurfy Girl, for letting me be a part of this video. Until next time.
Hi guys, it's me, Delicious Delights. Thank you, Claire from Smurfy Girly, for inviting me to this collaboration. I've chosen 2 fragrances here. Of course, sexy fragrance for winter for women and a sexy fragrance for men. For the winter time, I will say that I think that even though I have classified one for each, I think that both of these are pretty unisex. The first one that I have been wearing lately in the winter time is Blood Oranges by Cheyenne Blue. So blood oranges, when you think of the name blood oranges, you're probably thinking, oh, a citrus, happy spring, summer kind of scent. That's what normally orange perfumes are. But blood oranges to me is different. And how it's different is, yes, it has that beautiful, bright, realistic citrus scent to it, but there's also a very heavy, syrupy, rich base to it that makes it quite heavy. And for me, it's basically a winter citrusy gourmand, if I can classify it as something. That is absolutely delicious, you guys. Realistic, orangey, but it doesn't have like that fizzy, bright tartness in it. It's basically a citrus fragrance without the tanginess. And I think it's beautiful, especially in winter, in cooler weather for sure. So Blood Oranges by Shea and Blue. My next choice here for men, a sexy perfume for men in the winter, is Tom Ford by Tuscan Leather. Sorry, it's Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. Definitely the best leather fragrance that I've ever smelled. Realistic, really rich, very smoky and dark, and I have to say very realistic again because it literally smells like the inside of a new car and like he's been smoking some pipe tobacco in it or something like that. There's also a very nice sweetness in here, a fruity sweetness that complements that beautiful smoky dark leather that just makes it even more, like elevates it to the next level. And I absolutely love it on both men and women for sure, but if I smelled this on a guy, I would be quite impressed. So again, thank you guys for listening. On to the next reviewer.
Hi folks, this is Dana with the Nose, and today I've been tagged by Claire to produce a video material with 2 fragrances, sexy, male-female, for the wintertime. That was the brief. Now, I tweaked the assignment a little bit. It wouldn't be me if I didn't. I have to stay true to myself. I did so for philosophical reasons, the 3 more important of which would be, 1, I don't believe in gendering fragrance. It's all foo-foo flower water anyway. Label is mostly for marketing, and people who watch me or listen to me don't care about this either. So I don't want to promote that, and I don't even know how to think about that in those terms, because even gender-wise, they're not only 2, so I don't do that. Number 2, not all couples, speaking of which, not all couples are made of male and female, so I wanted to make sure that I pick something that is all-inclusive and just like I am. And number 3, not all couples have sex. There are plenty of couples who choose to not or cannot, and because of that I kind of my brain went towards intimacy rather than sex and sexy time and, you know, this. So that being said, nothing wrong with it. I mean, we all do it, but I mean, a lot of us do it, but for today, I wanted to make sure that it provides some sort of diversity to this video. I don't know who else is on it, but just in case nobody's covering these bases, I wanted to. And the fragrances that I picked for today can be worn by any couple made of any sort of identifying person, alone or together. They work well layered as well, in my opinion. The first one is Santa Eulalia Obscuro. I think this is severely underrated as a leather because it doesn't really fall into a very clear pattern of leathers. It's more balsamic than ambery. It's not necessarily oriental. It has a slight soft lactonic undertone, and it evolves in a way that's kind of odd because as it goes into the base, greenness comes out of it alongside incense. So because of that, I think people don't really know how to classify it, where to put it, how to judge it, and it's not very kindly reviewed up until now. I personally think it's a very good fragrance. I think it's a very good brand and a good value, but that's just me. And this on my skin makes me I'm a woman, hear me freaking roar. It's me running around naked, covered in fresh, blood dripping hides, smelling like fur, around a campfire at night, kind of a thing. Yeah, about so. As you can see, it's been used and abused and loved. And that was Santa Eulalia Obscuro, which means dark. The polar opposite of which, and complementary to, is Mille Alberto number 1, Parfum Trouvé, the found fragrance. This is light, this is ethereal, this is soft, this is the morning after when you nudge and you nuke into your beloved's clean armpit. This is comfortable and safe and white somehow, light somehow. This is like a pudding, like a rice pudding. In fact, this and this share the lactonic tinge that I was telling you about, as well as some cardamom, some saffron, some of the warm condiments that we all came to love in perfumery. It also has some jammy fruit undertones. It has a comfortable sandalwood. In any case, together, these two make an interesting pair, dark and light, harsh and raw and individualistic, or during anything important. And this is after, light, soft, comfortable, safe. And these two are my picks for my tag. Hope you enjoy it.
So what an absolutely wonderful treat that was. Thank you so much to every single lady that has taken part in this collaboration video. I will link all of their channels in the information bar down below. Please do go and subscribe and watch their videos. They are a diverse range of opinions and thoughts and knowledge and experience, and I really think that we can all learn from watching their videos. So thank you so much for you watching at home. Do comment, let me know if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed my very first collaboration, and a big thank you to Dan, aka Mr. Smelly, because he is the one who is putting the video together, because I don't have the skills for that. So thank you to Dan for putting that together for us, and I will see you all in my next video.